think that a lot of girls are worried about calling themselves feminists because they're worried that boys won't be attracted to them.
Oh, don't worry, the average girl has no reason to worry about not looking attractive to a man if they call themselves feminists, because feminists are not the average girl, they are not normal women. They are somehow amazingly unattractive, not just in their personalities and the fact their ideologies are toxic, but generally, when you look at feminists, and you seem to be kind of outside of that box, they tend to be very unattractive physically as well, and I couldn't possibly wonder why. It's such a strange coincidence. But I think I've already explained this point several times in the past. Yes, maybe that could well be a point, but you see, I don't think girls are that superficial. There are many superficial things that women like to think about and talk about, but I don't think it's that superficial. I think women are a lot smarter than that, and I think women choose not to call themselves feminists because, like I said before, the ideology is toxic and it's full of hatred of men, misandry, and a lot of these women will have boyfriends, fathers, uncles, brothers, cousins, friends who are male, and what feminists describe these men as do not fit their life experiences with these men, and their actions toward this man will probably anger them, so they don't want to be called feminists. As a girl once told me, we'd love to be feminists, but they're idiots!
Hello everyone, this is ChampiMan90. Ugh! Damn it, I can't see a thing in this.
The guy who is not attracted to you because you're a feminist is never going to eat your pussy right anyway, so it's like, what's the point?
Oh, what's this passive-aggressive nonsense I see before me? Shaming a man's sexual prowess because he doesn't like feminists. He doesn't find them attractive. I don't know about you guys, but it seems that feminists are totally prepared to shame men, but when a woman is shamed, with the exact same wording, but different thing, because women, they don't do that to men, because men don't have vaginas, but nonetheless, if a man was to say, oh, if a woman's not an MRA or, hell, a feminist, doesn't matter what ideology, she won't be able to suck your cock well anyway, feminists will be up in arms immediately, but it's okay when they shame men and be sexist to men. I guess misandry's alright when it's for the greater good, eh? What am I kidding, eh? It's feminism. Anyway, I wouldn't really lick your pussy anyway, because that's not my thing. I'm more into fingering pussy. Oh, I'm sorry, was that too much information, people? Well, she did want to know, but I'm sure many men would love to lick your pussy if they're so inclined to do so. But the problem is, right, you're horrible. You're a horrible passive-aggressive person just based on this little statement alone, and you're a feminist, so these guys would be like, you know what, I'm not going to waste my time, I'd rather go with a woman who would appreciate me, who I can appreciate back, and I will lick her pussy because she deserves it more than you. But even then, maybe they don't like feminists because of political reasons, not because of some superficial aesthetic reasons, which by the way are still valid. Everyone has a preference.
You know what I mean? Life's too short to not get the pee snacked on the right way.
To be honest, life's too short to be taking shit from feminists as well. I just like, if you notice, right, kind of halfway through this little segment, when the music starts, her eyes kind of look up as if the music came up at a wrong moment, like she was contemplating clairvoyantly when this music would inadvertently come in because she's shit at editing. It's quite funny. I don't know if you noticed that.
Aw, shit.
Oh, I see, it's a late title sequence. Well, she could have maybe have done the music a bit better because it just was blaring and I couldn't understand the words she was saying, and that's not because I wasn't really listening to her either.
I am a feminist.
Yeah, the clue's in the title, love.
It's really important to say out loud.
Yeah, it's not like there are loads of other feminists that are doing the exact same thing, and it's not like you're accepted by the mainstream at large, despite the fact there's 18% of women in America are feminists, and even half of that in the UK.
I think it's important as a woman to be a feminist, and I think it is equally as important to say that you're a feminist.
Yeah, because women have to be feminists, because they're women. You have to join our cult, because you're women. Why wouldn't you? Are you for equal rights? Do you want to stop this so-called oppression? And, you know, you've already repeated yourself, because you say it's important to say you're a feminist, blah, 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 blah. You said it twice. It just seems like it's arrogant it feels to me like it's just arrogant declarations at this point. I'm a feminist! But everyone else goes, yeah, whatever, shut up. Seriously, why? We know you're a feminist. You said it several times now. It doesn't make you any more loved or any more relevant.
All it means is that I think women should have equal rights to men.
Yeah, if you really did, then how come you're not fighting for men's parental rights? And how come you're not trying to change the definition of rape to include male victims of women? I'm still waiting. Oh, let's not forget, you literally just shamed non-feminist men just now. So yeah, you're totally for equal rights.
Doesn't mean I'm gonna grow my armpit hair out, you know what I mean, into like braids, and then just whip the dicks off.
I find that hard to believe that you wouldn't want to whip our dicks off, considering that you literally just shamed men who don't like feminists earlier. So yeah, don't give me that crap.
There's a dick, get the dick.
Amusing.
No, it doesn't mean I hate men.
You certainly don't like men who don't like feminists. Just saying.
That's not what being a feminist means.
Oh really, just ask Andrea Dworkin if she was still alive, Valerie Solanas and the Scum movement if she was alive but the legacy still continues, Jessica Valenti, Gloria Steinem, Laurie Penny and Bahar Mustafa, and you'll find that they hate men. In fact, many feminists, Andrea Dworkin amongst them, says that hating men is totally okay and understandable considering we've oppressed women for all these years. So yeah, man-hating is an essential part of feminism considering what they've been up to for the last 50 years now. I mean, why would we have so few male domestic violence shelters? Why would we have this horrible bias in the courts towards women where they get less time for prison sentences for committing the exact same crime as men, and also they 80% of the time get awarded custody of kids? And apparently that's not because they hate men, it's because, I don't know, men are the oppressors, therefore women deserve better. Really? Don't make me laugh.
It doesn't mean I'm a rhinoceros.
You what?
It doesn't mean I'm gonna take my rhinoceros tusk and shiv you with it.
Metaphorically speaking, that's what Valerie Solanas tried to do to Andy Warhol and his friend. Because worldwide conspiracy, men trying to oppress women, therefore all men must be killed. You do realise that's what the Scum Manifesto wants, right? To kill all men. And then you've got other feminists, and I forget her name, who actually mentioned this, who said that we should kill off 90% of men so that 10% are around for breeding purposes. Because despite what feminists love to say about how men will be useless because of technology, you still need us. You still need that sperm because genetic variety. Oh, and then we have Julie Bindel. She wrote that men should be put into concentration camps. So yeah, make of that what you will.
In rhinoceros jail. That's not what being a feminist is.
It actually is to a large portion of your ideology. Man-hating and hell, even the advocation of killing men is very much a part of their philosophy. And they're not a minority.
It doesn't mean that I'm angry. I'm not angry. I just think that I'm equal to anybody with a dick.
If you were truly not angry, how come you're so passive-aggressive in this video? I'm just wondering. And yeah, you are equal to a man with a dick. In fact, I'd wager you've got more rights. I've already mentioned them. Parental rights amongst them, but also some that I haven't mentioned. Reproductive rights. Men have no reproductive rights whatsoever, and we also don't have a right to our bodily integrity. So a young baby boy cannot consent to having his dick mutilated for religious or aesthetic reasons. That's legal. While a woman and the baby girl are protected because for some reason female genital mutilation is considered worse when it isn't. But hey, whatever. Those double standards don't exist. We're all equal. Pigs are more equal.
Any kind of woman can be a feminist. You could be a stay-at-home mom and be a feminist.
Yeah, right, but that's not what the feminists truly believe, is it? I have seen so many times feminists think it's sexist to suggest that, yes, women can stay at home if they want to, or conservatives saying that the women's role is in the home. I don't agree with any of those statements. I personally think that women and men can do whatever they want in the home or at work. But to say that you can be a feminist and a stay-at-home mum, although in theory is possible, in practice is not, because feminists do not like them, because they see it as a patriarchal, enforced gender role from a bygone era, even though there are loads of women still practicing it to this very day in the West, let alone in other countries that aren't Western. I remember I watched like a little clip of Christopher Hitchens talking about how he thinks women probably should be at the home looking after kids because they're better at it than men. And while I disagree with him, and he did say that women could work if they want to, but he thinks that they were better off not working, I actually thought that was sexist more towards men than to women, because he's giving women the option to stay at home or to go to work. He's just giving his opinion, but men, we have to work until we die. So we basically work for years, potentially dying in a workplace accident, which is 90%, by the way. 90% chance you will die. And then you retire, and then you die early because you worked yourself almost to death, while the women, they can choose not to work or choose to work lesser hours and get to live to about, I don't know, 80 or 90, or we'll live to about 70 and 80 if we're lucky, and they get to clog up the NHS while we're just clogging up all the cemeteries. So yeah, that's actually sexist towards us. Oh sorry, I went off on a tangent then. Yeah, sadly, in conclusion, stay-at-home mums cannot be good feminists because feminists just do not like them.
You could be a CEO and be a feminist. You could be a dog walker and be a feminist.
Being a CEO, oh, that's amazing. That's what feminists want. They want women in those high positions of power because it's totally not a question of women taking over, you know, putting men down in the gut or anything. It's totally about equality because women totally care about equalising all the crappy jobs like sewage working and coal mining and steel working, textile working. Yeah, they totally don't mind making those parts of the industries equal, despite the fact to this day it's almost entirely men who do it. Oh, dog walkers, male or female, they're all a nuisance and they plague my life.
You could be a dermatologist and be a feminist. You could be like, as long as you're a human, you can be a feminist.
Again, feminists would love dermatologists to be feminists because, well, it's a position of wealth and power, is it not? Maybe not power, but the wealth kind of brings power in their eyes. But the thing is, as long as you're a human, you can be a feminist? Really? Then how come there's a long-running debate about men's place in the movement? And there has been for years and years. Some feminists think men can be feminists. Others think they should be allies and not feminists. Others think they can't be allies or feminists at all. They are the enemy and always will be. Despite the fact that not all men have participated in oppression of women. But hey, whatever. At this point, you have to wonder whether or not being human is enough. Or even if they consider you human. Lol, awkward pause.
Although I'm pretty sure bears are feminists.
I rest my case, bears are considered more like feminists than men are.
Only because, like, they never cover up their nipples. And, like, what must bears think when they see us on the beach wearing bikini tops? They must be like, why are your nipples under that?
Now it's just descending into madness. Now we're going into free the nipple territory, but talking about fucking bears. Bearing, why have you done this? Why have you infested these people's minds with bears? And besides, under all that fur, I can't see shit. And that looks like a male bear, not a female bear.
There are so many countries where women are just...
She says swimming, not women.
Completely enslaved or persecuted solely because they're women.
In these countries, I assume you mean Muslim countries. The women aren't actually enslaved. They're more because enslaved means that they're doing some kind of job or some kind of work. And women don't tend to work in Islamic countries, especially those that follow Sharia law. They tend to be at home looking after the kids and doing the cooking. That's not really enslavement, more that it's a ancient Roman style where it's... I'm trying to think of the word. It's isolation, I guess. If anyone's got a better word for it, please go ahead and tell me in the comments. The ones who are actually enslaved are the men, because the people who are building those football stadiums in Qatar are slaves. They're men. They're not women. Women don't build stadiums and buildings in Qatar, as far as I'm aware, though they may be some, I don't know. But all the workers are men. 90% are probably men, if there are any women at all. Men are enslaved. And the only way that women are enslaved in the Islamic world are if they're prostitutes or sex slaves. That's the only way you'll ever see a woman enslaved. And when we bring these up to women who are feminists, the feminists always say stop being racist and Islamophobic. Your movement actively enables these countries to get away with it. It's all well and good for you to say this, but the fact of the matter is your movement's doing fuck all about it.
And it's not fair. I think as a woman who...
Oh, it isn't. But you know what isn't fair? Labelling people who point this out to other feminists, particularly social justice warrior ones, that these countries are doing it because of their religion and other reasons. We get called all sorts of bullshit and nothing is ever done about it.
Has a lot of rights. It's important to say out loud that we all deserve to have these rights. Because what do you want to be the only person who has a good thing for? You know what I mean? Like, don't you want everybody to have the good thing?
But I haven't heard you extend a single thing to men, like our right to bodily integrity and our reproductive rights. I've heard you not even mention anything like that. It's just all women. Women deserve even more rights than they've already got. It's not enough that they have more. They need even more. And while it's okay to say that women in third world countries who are legitimately oppressed deserve more rights, how come you as a first world woman deserve more than I do already? I'm just wondering, that's all.
It's like if you get a delicious piece of cake and your friends and your neighbors like can't have any, so what, you just eat that cake by yourself and get diabetes? I don't know if that was the right... Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't get what you're on about, love. But as we like to say to feminists all the time, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
We have to stop treating it like it's a bad word. It's a good word. It is important to say that you care about something.
It's not a good word though, is it, feminism? Because they preach supremacy. I'm sorry, but that's the fucking truth.
Like beyond Jennifer Lopez. There are some days that all I think about is Jennifer Lopez. I look like Jennifer Lopez when I put my hair in a ponytail.
You know, this could have been 2 minutes long and you didn't have to waste any more of my time.
She drops it so low in that video. Oh my god. Anybody wants to send me a t-shirt that says feminist, I'll wear the shit out of it.
And of course she wants free stuff. Ain't gonna get free stuff from me, girl. Hell no.
Is that it?
Please, just end. Just end rightly, please.
Is there more?
Looks like it, doesn't it?
It's like too silly to say you're not a feminist.
Why is it too silly? I'm basically saying I'm not part of a cult and a hate group.
In 2014.
Wow, a current year argument in 2014. She was before Trudeau. At least she's original. At least she's original.
You know, and not like the good silly, not like P. Diddy on Instagram silly. Oh my god.
Of course, you've got to be a feminist. You're for equal rights and a woman, aren't you? It's like you have to be a part of the cult. You have to be religious in order to be moral, isn't it? That's exactly what it is.
He is so silly. The man loves unicorns.
God, what a bitch. Anyway, that's the end of the video, people. That is the end. Thank God. Dragged towards the end, didn't it? See you later. United rhythm in my home.